All right, well, Yahoo Finance's Julia LaRoche caught up with Goldman Sachs chairman and CEO David Solomon for an exclusive interview. They discussed everything from the recent tech backlash to regulating some of these firms like Facebook, Google, and Amazon. Julia?
Yeah, that's right. I spent about 5.5 hours yesterday with Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon and former CEO of Legendary Entertainment Thomas Tull. And we did talk about everything as it relates to technology. And one of the topics that came up is, of course, this call that you're hearing to break up big tech and the so-called techlash. Let's take a listen to what he thinks about that.
You know, these companies, these are hugely successful companies that to the point have added a lot of value and have also been disruptive in creating different business paradigms, you know, to operate in. As they've done that, they've gotten to be very large, very successful companies. And, you know, a number of them are operating in ways that are different than companies that touch the businesses that Impact have operated before. Whenever that happens, if you look back historically, we've had a tendency as a society to want to put rules or parameters or guardrails around how those evolving businesses operate. And we're in the process of debating that and doing that, you know, for some of these businesses. And so I think it's appropriate that, you know, society, government takes a look and says, you know, what's best, you know, broadly for our society, what's best for consumers. And, you know, that's stuff that's getting a lot of attention. When companies do things that have implication for their customers, their users, et cetera, they're responsible. And, you know, they own that responsibility. We all do. You know, Goldman Sachs is far from perfect, and we've had issues and mistakes that have been made, you know, in our organization, and we own that. We're responsible for that. And so, you know, if you want to run a big company and you want to have a big footprint and a big impact, you know, you own the good and the bad, and it's your job to, you know, evolve appropriately, you know, when things go wrong.
So there you heard it. He's talking about guardrails when it comes to some of these big tech companies, which I found to be really interesting because when you do look at antitrust laws, it's really about the consumer and how they're impacted. And maybe there's a way to rethink some of the antitrust laws. Jen and
Hi there, Julia. I am here. Really interesting. I love that. Great seeing you up there on stage. Did he have anything to say about the Malaysia scandal, the 1MDB stuff going on?
We didn't dig into the 1MDB, but we did talk about, you know, when there is trust that's broken with companies broadly. And what basically the takeaway from him is that when someone misbehaves within a company, it can really impact the reputation of an entire company. And we see this across industries. But he talked about the importance of owning up to that and talking about it, being forthright about it, and making sure that it doesn't happen again, putting protocols in place. Now, Thomas Tull, the former CEO of Legendary, said something really interesting about this. When companies do lose trust, that's amplified now because if you were going to go against a company before, you'd really have to build a movement. But now, because of technology, more people can connect. And if a company trips up or messes up, they're going to hear from people who are upset about it.
All right, Julia LaRoche, thank you.